Hello students, today we will discuss about another important topic that is called as files in C. Okay, so before moving in details regarding how to use the files in C, we will see what is the use or why we are having a concept called as files and why it is used in C. So normally when we do a program, we need to compile the program. Then after the compilation we need to execute the program. After that we'll be getting some result, like for example if you want to find the sum of some n numbers, I'll be getting the sum, like for example I'll be getting the sum as 100. Okay, so we are getting a value after executing that entire program. Then if we want to work on another program, that expects the results of the previous program. For example, this program actually giving an output that is 100, and if this 100 value is taken as an input in another program that is written in another editor, right? We'll be writing another program here, and I expect the result of the previous program that is written in another program. Okay, so this 100 is to be taken as the input of this program. So normally when we use a C program, we cannot do such operation, because after the execution of a program, that is for finding the sum of that n numbers, we will be getting the result sum, then we are leaving that. That means after viewing that result, this result will not be retained there. It will be actually removed from the memory. So we are not having a permanent storage of the result of a particular C program if you do normal execution. Okay, so that is the only reason why we cannot take the result that is already created by one program into another program. So this is program 1, and from program 1 I expect an output that is sum is equal to 100, and this is program 2 where I expect the result of program 1 as the input here. So I require that 100 here. So I cannot directly take that, because this program is being completed its execution. We are getting the result 100. Either we are displaying that or whatever it be, we will see that result, but after that this will be removed from the memory. So no other program can have access to the result of a previous program. Okay, so sometimes we'll be having like a set of numbers will be the result, like 10, 20, 30, 40. So this will be the result of a particular program. We are having some numbers. This is the result of P1, and I expect these values as the input of program 2. So in this program I cannot directly take this value, because after the execution of P1 this will be removed from the memory. So for this purpose we are using the general file concept. File is actually it is a method that is used for storing or keeping the data in a storage. Okay, so a file, it's like a normal text file. It's like any type of file. File is a concept where we can store the data. Okay, so it is a storage mechanism. So normally, just like any usual file we are referring in our computer system, a file consists of some data. There are different types of files, we will see that. But if the result of P1, if this set of values or this sum 100 may be moved into a file after the completion of P1, and we can store that result here in this file. Okay, so rather than just showing the result in the command prompt or somewhere else, we will move the result of program 1 into a file. Okay, so file will be like f1.txt. For example, if it is a text file, f1.txt file, this will be stored. Now if this program 2 can have an access to this file f1.txt, I can access that through the program 2, and from the file, so these values, the results are stored in a storage file, and from the file P2 can access those results, and we can apply or we can utilize these values in this program 2. Okay, so it is actually an intermediate between two programs. It is the main purpose of using a file. The result of one a program can be stored permanently in a file, and if that is permanently stored means any other program can access this file and take the input or the values present in this particular file, and this can be taken as the input for another program P2. So sometimes we will be doing a program, we will do some calculation, we will do some process, and the result will be stored in a file. Sometimes we will take the input from the file and we will do some processing on that. Further, if you want to store the result of this program into another file, we can create another file and the result can be stored here, so that this file can be used, or the contents of this file can be used as an input for another program. So that is the main purpose of using files. So it's not a simple concept. That means it is a very much required concept. Many programming languages are using the mechanism for dealing with these files. So we need to have access to the file, we need to open the file, we need to retrieve the data from the file, we need to write the data into the file, or if you want to do some modification of the data present in an existing file, that can also be possible. So all these operations can be done with the help of various mechanisms used with the language. So now here we will be discussing about how this file handling can be done in C language. Okay, so I hope this basics regarding why we are using file and file handling concept in any language, I hope it is clear now. Okay, now let us see the definition of file. File actually represents a sequence of bytes because it consists of some data. It can be a text file or it can be a binary file. So a text file actually consists of the text, normal text, plain text, that we are writing that in a notepad, or we are writing that in a wordpad, or doc files, whatever we are writing, they are called as plain text. So if the file is used for storing those plain text, it can be called as a text file. And a second category of file that is called as binary file, it can also be called as bin file, or it can also be called as exe files. Now those files will be storing the data in binary format. It will be consisting of only zeros and ones. Okay, so it cannot be directly accessible, or it cannot be directly readable by a common user because it is having a binary format. So normally when we are working on files, we will be dealing with text files. In some situation we will be using the concept of binary files also. Okay, so how we can use these files in C? Now when we use the file handling in a C program, the primary thing to be done is we need to have a declaration of file pointer. So what is actually a pointer? A pointer is a pointer which points to the address or the value of another address. Okay, so it will be having the address which points to the corresponding type. For example, int star fp means or f means f is a pointer, points to an address where we are having an integer value is being stored. Similarly, we are having a declaration mechanism of file like file star fp. So file pointer is actually a pointer variable which points to an address where what type of values are being stored, which is of file type. That means this pointer is pointing to a file. Just like int star p points to an integer, file star fp points to a file. Okay, so whenever we need to have an access to a file, we need to create a file pointer by using pointer concept. Then by using that file pointer only, we are going to access the content of this file. For any operation, we require the usage of file pointer. Okay, now before moving in detail about how to use these files in C, we will see the different types of files. There are two types of files I have already mentioned: text files and binary files. And text files are examples like .txt. They actually consist of plain text, and normally it is easily readable, and it cannot be used, it cannot be having more security because anybody can easily access the data that is stored in the plain text. So we are having a second concept called as binary file, where the data are stored in binary formats. It is usually in .bin format, and they store only binary information like zeros and ones, and there it cannot be easily readable, and we can provide some security because no other person can easily read the data that is written in the file. So normally, if you want to keep some security on the data or the result of a particular program, we cannot directly use plain text. We can use a binary text, or we can use a binary file. Okay, now let us see what are the various operations related to the files. Basic file operations. So first file operation is opening a file. So before starting any file related operation, we need to open the file, because we are going to deal with the contents of a file, or we are going to write something into a file. So we need to open a file or a multiple number of files that is required for our program. So for opening a file, we are using a built-in function called as fopen, which is actually there in the header file stdio.h. Okay, so fopen is a function that is directly available within stdio.h header file. Okay, now how we can open a particular file? So as I have mentioned earlier, I need to declare the file pointer fp file file. It is usually written as file capital letters file. That means the pointer points to a file star fp. So fp is a pointer, points to a file. Okay, now to which file or how we can open that? So that fp is equal to, so file pointer, to which file it is pointing, I need to open that by using fopen of. I need to mention the file name within double quotes, comma, I need to specify the mode in which that file to be opened. We will see the different modes soon. So file pointer is equal to fopen. Within bracket we are having two parameters. First parameter, within double quotes, we need to specify the file name. If the file is f1.txt, that is to be written like that within double quotes. Then we need to write the mode within double quotes itself, then semicolon. Okay, so these two statements will actually create a file pointer, and by using the file pointer we will open the Now let us see what are the different file opening modes. So there are basically 6 operation modes available, but we are not usually using all of these modes. We are having basic 3 modes. They are used regularly, and other 3 modes are advanced, means some enhancement added to the already existing modes. Okay, so the first mode, that is called as read mode, R. It is to be indicated as small letter r within double quotes. Okay, so what is the meaning of this r within double quotes? The meaning is we need to open an existing file for only reading purpose. If there is already a file existing, and if you want to open that file just for reading, I can use the mode as read. Okay, so the mode is must when we are opening a file. Now second one is the write mode, W, small letter w. It is used for writing. So when we are opening a file for writing, if it does not exist, a new one will be created, or if there is one with that name, that file name, that will be opened. That is in write mode. That means we can start writing from the beginning of the file. A file will be opened from where we can start writing from the beginning of the file. Now the third mode is append mode, which is indicated as small letter a. That indicates we can have, or a file will be opened for writing in appending mode. Means if you are having some contents already available within the file, we can start writing from the remaining portion. We can append some content into the existing file. If it does not exist, then a new file will be created, or if there is an existing file with some contents, it will open that, and the pointer will be on the last content of the same file from where we can start writing. Okay, Then we are having enhancement modes like R plus, which is used for both reading as well as writing. If you want to use a file for both reading as well as writing, you can use R plus. Write plus, it is also like it can be used for both reading as well as writing. Okay, so some situation we can use this enhanced one, write plus. So what is the difference between write and write plus? In write plus, it first truncates the file to 0 length if it exists. If something is there within the file, it will be means if something is there within this file, it will be truncated to the 0, means it will start from the beginning itself. Okay, it can be used for both reading as well as writing. So if there is no such file available, it will be created a new one. Okay, now similarly append A plus, append plus indicates it is used for both appending as well as writing. We can add the contents from a portion of the file, or it will be opening for a writing purpose alone, that is from the starting point itself. Okay, so these are the different modes for reading or writing or appending. So read mode, write mode and append mode, these three are the major modes. These are the enhanced modes related to the existing modes R, W and append. Okay. Now when we use a file location within that opening a file, when we use this file location, we can use two addresses. One is the relative address, or second one is the absolute address. If our file is actually within the same location where we are executing our C program, we can directly use the file name as filename.c. Okay, this is the file location. Because we are standing in the same location, there I can directly use filename.c. But if you are working on some location, for example in a D drive, but the file is present in another location, we can give the absolute address, the entire address. That means within C colon, within the CP folder, within test folder, we are having a file called as hello.c. But the entire thing must be enclosed within double quotes. Here only the relative address is given, and here we are having the absolute address is being given. Okay, so while opening a file, we need to use fopen. Fopen consists of file name. File name can be given as direct file name dot extension, or it can be given the entire, the detailed absolute address. And second thing is the mode in which we are opening the file. We have already seen the different modes for opening the file. Then next operation is closing a file. Second operation for a file is closing a file. We are using a function fclose that is present inside stdio.h. Now if we have opened a file, we need to close that. Normally it is a better practice to close that file, but sometimes if you don't close, then also that will not create any issue. But normally it is always better to close the file that is already being opened, either for read mode or write mode. So the syntax will be like fclose of the file pointer variable semicolon. Okay, so opening a file and closing a file. Now reading and writing into a file. So the two major operations related to the file handling after opening, either we need to write or write into the file. So for doing these operations, we are using some built-in functions. We'll see in detail about how to use these functions. So one of the function is fgetc. Fgetc is used for reading a single character from the file. If the file consists of several characters, if you want to read only a single character first, so the first character will be taken, we can use fgetc. So the file pointer will be with the first character, that character will be taken, then file pointer will be moving towards the next location. If you want to read the next character, again I can call fgetc. Okay, so fgetc is used to read a single character from the file. So the syntax will be like fgetc of fp. So one character will be taken and that is assigned to a variable like ch. Okay, then we can use this variable for some other operation. Now another operation is fputc, that is used for writing into a file, writing a character into a file. That means fputc, if I need to put a character a into the file, so f gets c for reading a character, f puts c for writing a character. So f puts c of, the syntax will be like f puts c of the character that is to be written into which file pointer that is connected to the file that is being opened, ch comma f. You will see examples later. So f puts c is used for writing a character into file. Now f scanf, it is used for reading the numbers or string that is present in a file. If the file consists of some number like 5 or a name, etc., etc., that can be scanned. Just like we are using scanf for reading from keyboard, now fscanf is used for reading from the file. If you want to read the first number, we can use fscanf. Okay, so the syntax will be like fscanf of first parameter fp file pointer comma what type of value we are going to read, that is %d, means I need to read a number, comma ampersand n, the address of that particular data. Okay, so from the file I will be reading, scanning a particular data, and that is usually assigned to the variable n. Okay, so reading, so 5 will be taken into the variable n. That is the meaning of this statement. Now fprintf is used for writing this string or number into a file. That is the opposite of fscanf. Fprintf fp comma %d comma n. If you want to write a number 5 into the file, I can use this syntax. Okay, so fscanf, fprintf. Fscanf for scanning from the file, fprintf for printing into a file. Okay, so the difference will be like here single characters can be read and that can be written into the file, but here a group of numbers, group of means a larger number or larger string can be taken or printed into the file. Now fread and fwrite is used for reading binary content from the file, that is for binary files. Fread is used for reading binary content, and fwrite is used for writing binary content into the file. Okay, we'll see the syntax of that fread and fwrite. So first of all we will see fwrite, how to write into a file. A binary data can be written into a file. So fwrite consists of 4 arguments. First one is the address of data. So if you want to write some data into the file, first argument must be the address of that data. Next argument must be the size of data that is to be written into the file. Then similar, how many data you are going to write into the file, the number of such type of data, how many numbers are there, how many data are there. If you want to write only one data, it must be written as 1. Then the pointer to the file, to which file, what is that file pointer corresponding to that file to which we are going to write, that is to be specified as the 4th parameter. So the entire syntax will be like fwrite of address data, size of data, number of data, then file pointer and semicolon. Okay, so this is the syntax for writing binary content into the file. Okay, so whatever data we want to write into the file will be written as a binary data into the file. Now next one is fread, how to read binary data from the file. So we are using fread and the 4 arguments are exactly similar to the fwrite. First one is the address of data, then size of data, number of data, then file pointer. Fread, address data, size of data, number of data and pointer to file and semicolon. Okay, so that is the two operation, read and write, fread and fwrite, that is exclusively used for reading and writing binary data into the file. Now next one, another important function related to file is file end of file. In order to check whether we have reached the end of file, means if we want to read the character one by one, means for example if you are having this much data available within a file, now when we reach at this location we need to stop whether we have reached the end of file. So for doing that checking, we are using a function called as file end of file, FEOF. Okay, so its function is having an integer value as the return type. So file end of file, we need to specify the file stream, file pointer here, FEOF file stream. Okay, so it will be returning an integer value. So what is the meaning of that integer value? You will see here. If it is actually testing for whether it reaches the end of that particular file to which the file pointer is pointing. Okay, so the function will return a non-zero value when end of file indicator with that file pointer is set. That means when it reaches the end of file, it will return an non-zero value, but if it is not at the end of file, it will return a 0. Okay, so we can set a condition like if you want to read character by character, just by checking end of file whether it is 0 or non-zero. If it is 0 means not end of file, we can do something. If it is a non-zero value, that indicates it is the end of file, so that we can exit from that and we can do some operation on that depends on the situation. Okay, so that is the use of file end of file. Normally many file related operation, if you want to exit from, or if you want to after finishing all the reading or all the writing, if you want to exit from the loop, we are using the function file end of file. Based on that checking, we are continuing or we are stopping. Okay, so that is the use of file end of file. Now next, for random access to file, we are using some functions like first one, rewind. Random access means a file, normally a previous case and all, we are considering reading one after another. File pointer will be moving one by one, so that way we are reading contents. But if we want to randomly access the content, like from different locations, we want to move into different location and read the content, we can use some other functions like rewind. So what is the meaning of rewind? It sets the file pointer at the beginning. So if we are at some point here and we want to go to the first point, we are using a rewind function. It is just like we are doing rewind operation with a cassette recorder. Okay, if you rewind, it will go to the previous or the initial point of the file. It will go to the initial point. So then next reading will be from this location. Okay, so we are having a random access. After reaching here, I will go here and we will read this random access. Okay, the syntax will be like rewind of the file pointer. So that file pointer, wherever it is standing, it will be pointing to the starting point of that particular file. Okay, now next method is called as fseek. Now what is the use of fseek? Fseek means if you want to go into a particular location of a file from somewhere, if you want to go into a particular location of file, if you want to reach that location, we can use fseek. Okay, so like if you have many records inside a file and need to access a record at a specific position, means at a particular location, normally we can use fseek. Okay, if you use a loop and go to that location, it will take more time. But if you are using a function like fseek, we can easily go into that particular location. If you know some information, we can go into that particular location. Okay, so it is actually an easier way. We can use a normal loop for reaching that particular location, but it will take some time, some operation. But by using a single statement, we can reach on a particular location. If you know the position of that particular element, we can use fseek. So the syntax will be like fseek of, first parameter is a file pointer, file stream. Second is the an integer, long integer offset value. and next one is the position. So file pointer means the file pointer, the file to which we are pointing. Offset means the location, like from, for example, I will take this position part. This is the position. From this position, some meters away or somewhere, this location we are having the, means within this file it will go to a position. From that position we will have some offset, means little more right into this position. So first of all reach this position, then from the position move somewhere else, that is the offset. So first one reach this position, that is this position, then from position, from that position some offset, some means somewhere right, means some means number of bytes away we are having this value present. So we need to specify that. Okay, so if you want to sit in a particular location of a class, first of all we need to reach the, means, or if you are entering into a theater, you are reaching into the B is the position, then B12 means that 12 is the offset, means from B position we are moving 12 seat away, right? So means this is B, we are reaching at the B, that is the position. From B we are going to find out B12, means 12 is the offset. So in that way we can find out a particular location, or a particular location where we are having a particular data present in a file. Okay, if you want, so this is also an example for a random access to the file. Rewind for moving into the initial location, in a starting point of the file, and fseek is to reach into some known location on a position with some offset. Okay, that situation we can use fseek method. Now the different positions that are available by default in C programming, they are like, so we are normally using these positions. First one is seek set. Seek set means starts the offset from the beginning of the file. Seek set, if we set this position as seek set, so these are the default or predefined positions, or we can set some other position also. Normally we are using these predefined positions. So seek set means seek underscore set, they are capital letters, starts the offset from the beginning of the file, means, so if you set position as seek set, it will be starting from this location. From here I will see 12th location. Okay, so it will be starting from the beginning. Now seek end means the offset from the end of the file. From the end of the file we are starting. Okay, maybe here from end of the file we are starting. Okay, so from there we are going back. Position will be some, so here it will be positive value, here it will be negative value. We are moving back, here we are going front, offset will be positive, here offset will be negative. Okay, so we need to go back. Now seek current means we are at the current location. Okay, so start the offset from the current location, from here where we are having the file pointer currently present, from there the current location of the cursor, that indicates the means not a start or end, some other position, that is seek CUR. From that position we are starting, then we can set an offset from here. So for example we are at B12, this is B12, I need to go to B14. From here we are currently at B12, from here I need to go 2 more offset, means 2 more seat away. Okay, that is called as seek underscore CUR. So fseek is used for finding a position randomly that is present somewhere within the file. Okay, now similarly we are using another another function that is called as ftel. Ftel is a function that is used to find out the position of file pointer in the file with respect to the starting of the file. If you want to get the current position of the file pointer. For example, we are in between the program execution. File pointer starting from here, somewhere it is standing. Some position that file pointer is standing. Now, so that situation, if you want to retrieve that position of the file pointer, I can use ftl function. The syntax will be like ftl file pointer. It will return the current position of the file. Okay, so that is the use of ftl. So all these are the different functions, built-in functions related to random access to the file contents of the file contents. Okay, so fseek, ftl, and rewind. Okay, so these are functions related to random access. Now, generally, what is the difference between sequential access and random access? So already I have mentioned the different functions. So sequential access means from the file we are accessing the content sequentially. The content will be from first, second, third. That way, sequentially we are accessing the content. Okay, so it is just like we are listening to the music using a cassette player. Means first song will be coming, then only we are having the second song. Okay, so sequentially that music will be played. But random access means it's just like listening to the music from a CD. We can randomly select a particular song and we can listen to that particular song. Okay, so that is the basic difference between sequential and random access file. Okay, so the difference will be like in sequential access, it will be sequentially accessing, like one after another. First one, then second, then third, then fourth. We cannot directly go into fifth. By passing through all these, only we can reach at the fifth location. Okay, but random access means randomly I can go to second, randomly I can go to fourth, or at any location from anywhere we can access the data. Okay, so that is called as random access file. So we are generally having these two categories of files. So just reading a character and we are moving the file pointer one by one, it is like sequential access, that type of programs. But random access, when we need to find out a particular location by using fseek. From there, if you want to get some data and do some operation, it is an example for random access operation. Okay, so that is all about the basics regarding the files. What is a file, the purpose of using files, how files can be used in C, like how to open a file, then file pointer declaration, file close, then various opening modes, then other functions, that is for reading, writing, both binary files as well as text files. Then we have seen various other functions related to the various file handling operations. So these are the basics regarding the usages of files in C. So here I am stopping here in this session. So next session we will see some example programs related to the usages of files in C. Thank you.